Ratio of the volume of water in A versus B is 8:3. 50 ml of water pour from A to B, and you will end up A having twice the amount, 2 times of the water in B. Now the question is, how much water should left behind in B towards the end? I'm going to show you two methods to solve this. The first one is called bar model methods. So we draw the bar A towards the end. Let's say 50 will transfer to B. So this is going to transfer over, and then in the ratio of 2:1 later, right? Now let's do some brainstorming. Starting now, we have 8:3, the ratio. So let's say 8 units and 3 units. So we try to brainstorm. Let's say we now transfer 1 unit from A to B. This one will drop to 7, am I right? This one will increase by 4. Now you take note that the ratio 7:4 already less than 2:1. So once you actually less than 2:1, this is less than 2:1, we don't have to continue, because if you continue, you can see now it will just decrease further, right? No need. So therefore we can skip now. We can just stop here, and we somehow this one doesn't hit the 2:1 ratio. So this one actually fell. Doesn't work. Okay, now what happened next is that we are going to increase the value of the ratio. So 8:3, we change to rather times 2, becomes 16:6. Let's run the same procedure again. Decrease by 1, 15, increase by 1, 7. This one's still more than 2:1. So we can continue. Next one, 14:8. Am I right? This one already less than 2:1. And again, we didn't hit the 2:1 ratio. So unfortunately, this one also doesn't work. Then we keep on increasing the value of the ratio. So times 3 now, perhaps 24:9. Okay, decrease by 1, 23, increase by 1, 10. This one's still more than 2:1, right? Okay, let's try one more. 22, decrease further. Then this one increase to 11. Wow, this one cool. This one hit the 2:1 ratio. Can you see that? 22 unit versus 11 unit. Okay, so this one worked well. So we based on this one to go back to the model and then fill up. Now, obviously here, for A is 24, drop to 22, so decrease by 2 unit. So this one we say 2 unit. Similarly, this one also 2 unit. Okay. Remember that towards the end, the ratio A to B is actually 2:1. 2:1. So by right here is 2:1. Now towards the end, the B having 11 unit. Starting should have 9 unit. So this one should be 9 unit. Okay, add together, this one will be 11 unit. Due to 2:1, this one expect to be another 11 unit. So far, okay, am I right? Okay, now after that, we can start to do the calculation. So we delete. Let's start the calculation now. So we will start off from this one could be our starting point. 2U is 50. U 50. So obviously 1U divided by 225. The question asking for water in B towards the end, which means we are going to have these two add together. Am I right? These two add together. All right. So therefore, it should now become 11 unit. I want 11 unit now. So meaning to say that I'm going to multiply 25 by 11. Now you can press your calculator. Then this one should end up 275. Unit will be ml. Now, you will find this method difficult to you cannot figure out, then perhaps I provide a second approach using algebra. Okay, let's start everything all over again. So we have A and B, T, 50 here. Okay, remember it's asking for the volume of water in B towards the end. So perhaps we can let this be X, which means this part should be X, am I right? Then making this one should be X minus 50. Then remember this one in the ratio of 2 to 1. So we expect this one also X, this one also X, like this, all right? So we can now start building up the equation for that. Using the fact that this one again, starting is 8 to 3. Starting, by the way, don't forget, starting for form for A is actually here. Then for the B is actually here, okay? So we base on this to form the equation. So the A starting that time should be 2x plus 50, all add together. Then divided by the B, the starting that time should be only x minus 50. And this is going to be in the ratio of 8 to 3. Okay, so we all write this in the fraction form. So far, so good, this one. Now to solve this, we are going to do something called cross multiply. So this is going to multiply this is going to multiply this, okay? So you will form something like this. If you don't do too fast, then it's 3 bracket. That means you multiply 2x plus 50 together. Then similarly, 8 is going to multiply at the bracket minus 50. Okay, if you're fast enough, actually this step you may skip. You can just multiply in, and this will become 6x plus 150 equals to 8x minus 400. All right, so this is going to multiply in like this and like this. Okay, then the next step, I think we just group all the x term together, all the constant term together. So I think we expect perhaps this one shift to here, perhaps, and this one shift to here. Now, this kind of shifting, the plus and minus side will actually change. So in other words, okay, let's write the left-hand side first, which is 150 minus 400, go the other side, become plus 400. Meanwhile, 8x stay there, then the 6x move to the right, become minus 6x. All right, so this will end up 550, this will end up 2x. Then both sides divided by 2, this one will be 275. Okay, so in fact, the same answer, 275 ml. Here we have two people, Albert and Betty. 3/8 of Albert's saving is $100 more than 1/3 of Betty's saving. And Albert is going to spend. Meanwhile, Betty spent half of her saving. After that, Betty will end up having $30 more than Albert. Question is, for Betty saving at first, what's the amount of her saving at first? So now we are going to draw model. We want the bar model method now. Let's say Albert, this amount at first. Then for Betty, it's here. Three of Albert saving, let's say somewhere here. Then for the Betty one, 1/3. So let's say just somewhere here. So the difference between these two is actually $100. If we put down to us, this is 3/8. This one should be 5/8. This one is 1/3. Then that there's a difference of $100 here. All right. Now, Albert is going to spend 5/8 of his savings. So meaning to say that this one will be leaving behind 3/8, right? For Betty, do the same thing, 1 minus half, actually still equals to half. Now, you notice that these two figures are actually the same. So for the A, actually, we don't have to withdraw. We just have to withdraw for Betty. Betty up to half. So in other words, we have another model, still B. Still the same amount, but we talk about up to half. Let's say up to somewhere. Half. And the difference here is 30. 30, right? Okay, after that, we try to maybe saying that this is 1/3 and 2/3. This is half and half. So 2 and 3, perhaps we can have 6 perhaps. So we make it as in total. So that means this is 2x, rather this is 4x. Then this is 3x and 3x, am I right? Okay, so now we can do the calculation now. The calculation I think will be the difference, right? Between 3x and 2x should be 130 add together. So 3x minus 2x should be 100 plus 30. That means x should be 130. Then question at the end asking Betty saving at first. So that means 6x, am I right? Here, this one or this one, both are actually 6x initially. So times 6. So end up, put back the dollar sign, 780. Now, if you find this method is still difficult to you, perhaps you can consider using algebra to solve. Let's try algebraic methods. For algebraic method, I think the Albert saving, we just call it as A, small a, this one, small b. So here, I think we can form two equations. The first equation will be 3/8 of A equals to 1/3 of B plus 100. The plus 100 should be with the 1/3 B, because Albert's 3/8 or Albert saving is actually more. So this is the first equation perhaps. Second equation, I think this one, firstly, we use 1 minus 5/8. So also 3/8, right? Leaving behind 3/8 of A equals to, and this one, remember just now also we use 1 minus half. So this one we should have half B. And Betty saving, half of the Betty saving left behind actually is getting more now. So rather this number is larger than this number. So therefore, I think we should put the minus 30 on this side. Okay, so do check carefully, like all these plus 100 and minus 30, actually which side should we put? Okay, so double check, I think it's all right. Now, obviously these two are actually the same thing, correct or not? So in other words, we can now equate these two equations, the right-hand side together. So which means we can have 1/3 B plus 100 equals to half B minus 30, right? Due to both of them equals to 3/8A. Now to solve this type of equation having fraction, right? I think the best way to do is to remove the fraction. We don't like to have fraction. And I think for this case, 1/3 and half, simply telling us that I think we should multiply by 6, am I right? We multiply by 6, we can remove the fraction format. So times 6, okay, I write here times 6. Every value have to times 6. So 1/3 B times 6, 2B, am I right? 100 times 6, 600, am I right? half B times 6, 3B, am I right? Then lastly, the minus 30 times 6, minus 180. This step okay with you? So the advantage is that we don't have to deal with fraction, huh? And check a little bit, okay, I think we just group all the B on one side, all the constant on the other side. So I think the 600 will stay there. Ask the minus 180 go over, plus 180. 3B stay on the right-hand side. Ask the 2B go to the right side, then minus 2B. So 780 equals to B. In fact, the B actually is the final answer. Okay, so therefore final answer, put back the dollar sign, 780. Of cons, 50 cents con, 25%, 20 cents con, 35%, then the rest are all 10-cent cons. The percentage for this, I think it's 1 minus 25% minus 35%. That means 40%. Total amount of money inside the box is $28.20. Question is that how many 10-cent coins are there? First thing we do is that construct 3 columns. Convert all this into a dollar sign. So 0.50, 0.20, and 0.10. And also put down all these percentage in this ratio now, 25 to 35 to 40. Since they are all multiple of 5, we can reduce to 5 to 7, 8. So for one basic unit, we have 5 50 cents coin, 7 20 cents coin, and 8 10 cents coin. So the total value, we can just multiply one by one and add together. 50 cents coin, we should have $2.50. 20 cents coin, we should have $1.40. And lastly, 10-cent coin, we should have 0.80. Then all these we add together, we should have 4.70. Next, total amount of money inside the box is $28.20. So this amount of money divided by, for one basic unit, we have $4.70. This one will give us 6. That means we will have 6 units. Within one unit, we have 8 10-cent coin. So within the box, simply, we should have 8 times 6 number of 10-cent coin. Therefore, the answer is 48. Now we have this computer club divided into 2 groups, Group A and Group B. Group A having 12 more members than B. And towards the end, we have 138 members inside the club. Okay, so based on this, we can draw the model. So perhaps something like this. Longer, B shorter. The difference is given by 12. Total up, these two total up is 138. So here definitely we can do some calculation. The calculation will be 138 minus 12 divided by 2, 63. So it means this is 63, this one also 63. For the A itself, total up, I think we'll now have 75. All right. Okay, after that, we go back to the center part. This one we have to read very, very carefully. The ratio of the number of boys in B to A is 3 to 4. Now, for the B, I think we use the lowercase, small b. I think perhaps like this, right? At the moment. Okay, then come to the girls. 3/4 of them are in actually group B. So it means 104, 1/4 of them should be in the group A. So perhaps here, and now convert to this is GB to GA. I think in the ratio of 3 to 1. Correct? Okay, so with this, then now we can construct another bar model. The bar model, I think we can put in more details inside. So another bar model. Separate something like this first. All right. So now we have, so BB to BA is 3 to 4. So perhaps, let's say, for example, we have something like this. So here, BB to BA, so all these small b, 3 to 4, right? And the rest will be girls, actually. Then the girls, GB to GA is 3 to 1. So this is 1G. I think this one can chop this into 3G, like this. Am I right? The difference earlier, we know that this will be 12. Okay, so far so good, right? And we have also calculated for the A is 75. For the B is actually 63. Now you can see that now for the B, we have 3B and 3G. Am I right? So here, for the B now, we have 3B and 3G add together. So suppose this is 63. So isn't that 1B plus 1G just divided by 3, then we have 21. So far so good. And this 1B to 1G is exactly this part. So this part we cannot update it to 21. And therefore this part is 21 minus 12 is 9. Therefore, each G will be 3 each. Then we updated this one also 3. That means for 1B will be 18. So far, so good. Okay, now we can actually ready to answer the question. The question is that how many boys are there in group A? So how many boys are there in group A? So simply all these add together. So therefore, the answer for this simply 4B. So the answer will be 4B. And 1B is 18. So 4 times 18. Therefore, 72. For this donation drive, we have total we have 40 boys and 40 girls together. And each boy contribute 4 bags, and then the girls contribute 3 bags. Then towards the end, the boys distributed 62 more bags than the girls. Question simply asking for the number of boys that we have. Now here, I have 2 approaches. Let me show you the first approach. We try to brainstorm. Like for example, for the boy, we just highlight. This one will contribute, each one contribute 4. Then for the girls, will contribute 3. Let's start off with 39 boy versus 1 girl. Okay. So for 39 boys, 39 times 4. Total, I think this will be 156. For the girls, if 1, then just 3 only, right? Then we try to take a difference now. So obviously the difference will give us 153. Okay, this is the first case. Let's move on second case whereby this is 38, this is 2. I think this one will reduce to 152. This one rather becomes 6. So if there happens to take a difference now, this one, the figure I think will become 146. Now, you keep on doing like this, I think you realize that every time this one will decrease by 7. So we are going to find out until when. Then this one will end up 62. Okay, so we have to actually calculate. We should now do this calculation, which is 153 minus 62 divided by 7. This one will end up 91 divided by 7. So it means 13. So that means this one will keep on decreasing by 7. And here we should have 13 of them. All right. So we minus 7 13 times. So it happens to minus 13 times. I think basically this will suggest that for this one, I think would definitely be 14. Then rather this is 26. Okay, and the figure, this will be 104. One would then be 42. So 104 minus 42, exactly 62. Okay, so this is the right combination. And basically the final answer is, this is the final answer. 26 will be the final answer. Okay, all right. Now, another approach, we can use algebra to form equation. And that one's supposed to be faster and easier. So let's assume that the number of boys that we have, let's say is B. Then for the girls, right, obviously is 40 minus B, right? Okay, then we use the fact that the difference eventually is 62. So the equation now should look something like this. We start with the boy first. For the boy, 4B, right? Then for the girls, 3 times 40 minus B. 3 times bracket 40 minus B. The difference between these two should now be 62. Okay, so far so good. Then after that, we open up the bracket. 3 times 40, 120. Then the second one, be careful. Negative times negative is positive. Okay, this one have to be careful. Let me do some highlight for this. Okay, negative times negative, this is positive. All right, okay, so this one making no mistake, then we continue the journey. So we end up 7B here. Meanwhile, the 120B minus will go over the other side, become a plus. So this should end up 182. 7B goes to 182. So B 182 divided by 7. Then end up 26, the same answer. Amos has his sister share this amount of money, 1674. Amos spent 25% of his money. Meanwhile, his sister spent 70% of her money. Then after that, Amos will be having twice as much money left as his sister. So question is that how much did Amos have at the end, right? And then second question is on the percentage decrease for the total sum. Okay, so first thing I think we go by bar model. So Amos and his sister A and S. And 25%. So this one is 25%. This is 75%, right? More for the sister to spend 70%. Behind 30%, right? So basically here in the ratio of back to here in the ratio of 3 to 1. This is in the ratio of 3 to 7. All right. Okay, now we are told that Amos having twice as much money left as compared to his sister. So it means that this one to this one is supposed to be 1 to 2, 1 to 2, right? Okay, so perhaps for Amos, this ratio, right, 3 to 1, maybe we now change it to 6 to 2. 6 to 2, okay? So that now this is now in the ratio of 1 to 2 now, okay? So in other words, you can take this as 6 unit, 2 unit, meanwhile this is 3 unit, this is 7 unit, right? So these two add together will end up 8U, okay, right here, 8U. Meanwhile, this one you add together will end up 10U. So far, so good? Okay, then 8U and 10U suppose add together, we should have 1674, correct now? This is 1674. So two add together, so we can do some calculation over here. 8U plus 10U is 18U. 18U referring to 1674. So I think both sides divided by 18, 1U will be 93. Question asking for how much money Amos will be having at the end. So he's actually having 8U, let me see, no, he's actually having 6U at the end. This is the one, not 8U. So therefore this one you times 6. 93 times 6, answer 558. Okay, so this is the answer for A. Okay, then for part B, percentage decrease in the total sum. Basically it drops these two together, reduced by 2U and 7U, right? So the total decrease supposed to be 9U versus, of course, initially should be 18U. Okay, so this is the percentage decrease. The decrease over the original value. So this one obviously is half times 100%. So it's 50% decrease. In baked cookies, in which 20% eaten, then the rest will be given to 3 people. These 3 people are Ryan, Gerald, and Tim. The ratio is 7 to 3 to 2. After that, Ryan gave 320 cookies to Tim. Tim will end up having 50%, half of as many as cookie as Ryan. Question now is that initially for Lean, right? How many cookies actually did she bake? Okay, so this one I think we first draw the bar model. So for the first 20% being eaten, the rest of 80% will be distributed 7 to 3 to 2. So roughly like that, maybe. So 7 to 3 to 2. The rest of is Ryan, Gerald, and Tim. After that, for the next model will be between the Ryan and Tim. Will be something like this. Ryan offer 320 cookies to Tim. And then at the end, the Tim had 50% as many cookies as Ryan. So this one
Later will be 1 to 2, huh? Okay, so mark the starting point. Starting point I mark here as a dot. Ending point as a cross, perhaps. Okay. Okay, then now we try to do a bit of brainstorming. So starting that time, the ratio is 7 to 2, am I right? 7 to 2. So again, we try to maybe say Ryan drop by 1 unit, this 1 unit offered to team. Now we target to eventually have the ratio of 2 to 1. In fact, just only one step we can achieve it already. Can you see that now 6 to 3 is in fact 2 to 1? Okay, so therefore this one we can stop here. So after that we just update. So this is 1 unit. So 1 unit over 1 unit, right? Then this one I think is 2U. This is 3U. This is 3U, right? Like this. Now you notice that for Ryan is 3U, 3U, and U. So therefore add together is 7U. So this one I think pretty nice. 7U, this one add together. So actually quite tally with this also, the 7 also. So if you back to here, we can do a bit of update. So this one corresponding to you can even say just 7U, this is 3U, this is 2U already. Okay, so far so good. Okay, then I think what we need to do now is that starting point, I think from the U pointing to 320, am I right? Now, I think we should calculate back to the main bar, although the rest of the 80%, the rest of the 80% is actually 7U plus 3U plus 2U. So this one's supposed to be 12U, am I right? 12U. So we go and multiply 320 by 12. This one should end up 3840. 3840. Okay. So this part now, in fact, we can update to 3840. Okay. But I think our final answer target to be back to 100%, for the amount of cookies that actually lean big at first. So now we are coming to the almost the last step, which is now this is 80% corresponding to 3840. So we target to have 100%. We can make it 2 steps. We can say divide by 8, make it 10% first. So divide by 8, 3840 divided by 8, I think should be 480. Okay, are you okay? 480. Then after that, both sides times 10. So this one will be 100% now. This one obviously is a 4800. And that will be our final answer. Alan and Benny took part in the race. This is the starting time. Alan's speed 16 meter per minute, slower than Benny. When Benny finished the race at this timing, Alan only covered 3/5 of the total distance. Question now is, what's the total distance for the race? Followed by Alan's speed in meter per minute. Okay, so let's assume that they're all starting from this point. When Benny finished the race, end up here. By that time, Alan should be somewhere here. And he has completed 3/5 of the race. That means this part should be 2/5. Bear in mind that the time taken is for a minute. For every minute, Alan is 60 meters behind Benny. Hence, therefore, this distance should be 60 times 40. Therefore, 2400. Now, corresponding to 2400. So divided by 1/5,200. Then for total distance 1 unit times 5 should be 6,000 meters. This is the answer for part A.
Okay, then for part B, what is the Allen speed? Allen's speed. So Allen's the distance covered is 3/5 of the whole journey. So 3/5, 1/5 is 1,200. 3/5 should become 3,600. So therefore the speed for Allen, distance on top 3,600. The time still 40 minutes. Therefore answer is 90 meter per minute. This is the answer for part B. Over there are 12 semicircles and 4 quarter circles. Each one, the radius is 10 cm. Now, the question very simple. Just find two things, perimeter and then the area for the mat. Okay, and take note that the pi we take 3.14. Okay, first of all, we start off with the perimeter first. Now over there, I think we can count the number of complete circles that we have. So we can start off with something like this. These two combined together will form the first circle, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and these 4 altogether can form the last one. Okay, so altogether we have 7 circles here when they combine together. So when you find the perimeter, first of all, the perimeter, remember that the formula is either pi d or 2 pi r. Okay, so I think we use the 2 pi r because the radius is given to us. So for part A, it will be 7 times 2 pi r. The r should be 10, right? So this one together, I think we have how many pi? 140 pi. And pi is 3.14. It should give us 439.6 yen. Okay, so answer for part A. To part B, find the total area. Now, in fact, I think for the circle part, can repeat the what we have for the perimeter. So we will have 7. Now the area for a circle is pi r square. So times pi r square 10 square. 10 times 10, right? Then after finish, then I think we have to look at the center part. I think this one we can chop this into something like this. Now the center part actually we should have a square, which is here because we have 3 diameters. So I think altogether 1 diameter is 20. So 3 diameter is this will be 60. And this is another 60 also, right? 60 cm. Okay, so this is the center part. Then besides that, actually we have 4 pieces of rectangle. They're all the same. Each one, the length is 60. Then the width is actually 10. Okay, so in this one, we have 4 pieces. And we have 1 piece of a big square. So now we can start, we can continue from here. So we have 4 pieces. Each piece is 60 times 10. We have a square also, which is just 60 times 60. All right. So this part, I think we have 7 times 100, 700. Okay, pi we straight away change to 3.14 now. And this one, I think we have 2400. This one we have 3600. All right. And this one, just this one itself, we should have 2198. Okay. So therefore, for the final answer over here, I write the answer here. Okay, all these add together should be 8198. Unit wise, of course, brings to cm square. This is the answer for part B. Now we have 2 items. mobile phone and television. Mobile phone sold at 40% the price of a television. Both items sold at 20% discount. Janet paid $2,016 for both items after the discount. The question is that what is the usual price for one television? So this is a television. And this is the phone. Both of them sold at 20% discount. So obviously leaving behind 80% for both. And these two 80% combined together, 2016. Okay, first of all, we try to calculate back the 100%, the combined 100%. So 80% corresponding to 2016. Convert to 100% before that, divide by 8 first, change back to 10% first. 2016 by 8 is 252. 5 times 10, back to 100%. This will become 2520, all right? Okay, another information is that 40% of the television. So if this is treated as 100%, this one should be 40%. Therefore, combined together, this is 140%, right? So just now the 2520, that as 140% now. 2520. Now we want to calculate back for the television, which is 100%. So both sides divided by 14 first. This one dropped to 10% first. And this one should become 2520 divided by 14 should become 180, right? So after that, both sides times 10, then this will become 1800, 1800. And this is the answer for the usual price for one television. Here we have 3 people, Kelvin, Lawrence, and Michael. Kelvin sold 1/3 of the tickets. Lawrence sold 2/5 of the remaining tickets. And Michael will sell all the rest. There are 2 categories of concert ticket. Kelvin sold all the category 1, which is at $13. Lawrence, Michael sold all the category 2, which is at $8. Michael collected $208 more than Lawrence. Is how much money collected from the sales of the ticket altogether? This is the overall bar model for Kelvin. So the first 1/3. This is Kelvin, 1/3. Lawrence, so the 2/5 of the remaining. So it should be 2/3 times 205, which will end up 4/15. Lawrence. Then for Michael, 2/3 times 3/5, which is at 6/15. At the ratio for all of this, then we ask Kelvin, I think, to have the same denominator. So times 5. Therefore, the final ratio is 5:4:6. And Kelvin sold all the 1 ticket at $8, the other 2, category 2 at $8. We go and multiply each of them. This one will have 65. This one having 32. This one 48. So add up all these together, we should have 145. So this is the total sales for one basic unit. Now, we are told that Michael collected $208 more than Lawrence. So let's compare Michael and Lawrence. For this basic unit, the difference is at $16, right? So ultimately, the difference should be 208. So based on this, we go and calculate the how many units do we have. So 208 divided by 16, we should have 13 units. 13 units. Okay, based on this one, then we go and calculate the final amount of the sales of all the tickets. So which is earlier result 145 times the 13. And the answer should be 1885. Okay, for these figures, we are told that the circle, the diameter is 10 cm. Question simply find the total shaded area. For the pi, we should use 3.14. Okay, I think first of all, we can first of all consider this square as ABCD. And we go and connect up the two diagonal together. This one should form a right angle. This is the property for the square. And each of them should be just the radius 5 and 5. So based on this, we can first of all calculate this ABCD, the square, the area. So the area for ABCD, I think simply find one piece of the triangle then times 4. So 4 times half times 5 times 5. And this will give us 50 cm squared. Am I right? After this is done, then we can remove off all this. And we are going to chop this square in this kind of manner. Okay, so chop this into this kind of manner. So for you, please use the ruler to assist this. Okay, all right. So we'll end up something like this. If we do a proper counting, I think now we should have 32 pieces of this small triangle inside. They are all identical. And within here, I think the shaded one, how many of them? I think we have, okay, can I label all these as X? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 7, 8. So now the area for these 8 pieces of X, I think we just go by the ratio, right? We have 32 pieces of the triangle there, in which 8 pieces of them actually being shaded. So 50, the early result times 8 over 32. This one, you will leave in decimal, it should be 12.5 cm squared, all right? Then the next item I think we should calculate, obviously, will be this remaining 4 pieces of the shaded area. They're all identical. Call them each one as the Y. I think this one, the quick way to find these remaining 4 pieces of the area, for them as 4Y. I think we can just use the whole circle, the pi times r squared, minus off the early result of the ABCD, right? Which is 50, right? So we have 25 times 3.14 minus 50. And this will give us 28.5 cm squared, okay? So finally, the total shaded area obviously will be these two add together, right? These two add together. So 12.5 plus 28.5, final answer is 41 cm squared. In these figures, ABCD is a rhombus. EAD 58 degree, ADE 78 degree. Find the angle FDC. I think first thing we do, we can maybe label some of this angle first. Call this as R, this is S, this is T. Ultimately, we are going to find the T. First of all, I think EF is a straight line. So 78 degree plus R plus S, I think we should have 180 degree. Adjacent angle on straight line, R plus S, I think will end up 180 degree minus 78 degree, which will give us 102 degree. After that, we look at the rhombus. We use the fact that the opposite side are parallel lines. So therefore, for the upstairs, the 58 degree, at the downstairs, R plus S plus T should have 180 also, right? Because this is under interior angles. Interior angles, AB parallel to DC. And R plus S, obviously we have the result, which is 102 degree. So therefore, to find the T, simply 180 degree minus 58 degree minus 102 degree. And this will give us 20 degree. In these questions, we have 4 pieces of information. Alice and Peggy, the total sum $105.50. Then the ratio of Peggy's, the money that she spent as compared to Alice, is in the ratio of 2 to 3. And for the Peggy herself, the amount of money that left behind as compared to the amount of money that she spent, $9 more. For Alice, half as much as money left behind as Peggy. Okay, now finally the question is, how much money Peggy have left behind? We go by bar model method. So Alice and Peggy. First of all, the amount of money that they spend in the ratio of 2 to 3. Peggy is 2, Alice is 3. So perhaps like this, 2 to 3. Am I right? Call them as X, 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 X. Second information is that for Peggy herself, the amount of money that left behind is $9 more than the amount of money that she spent. So that means this should have another 2x plus $9. So X, X, and $9, right? Then back to Peggy. She has half as much money left behind as Peggy. Now, this is the, we highlight a little bit. This is the amount of money that's spent. This is the amount of money that she left behind. So for Alice, as compared to Peggy, half of it. So for Peggy is 2x plus 9, right? So for half of it, it should be just x plus 4.5, am I right? So therefore, this one another x, then add half of the 9, which is 4.5. So this one inside should be 4.5. So far, so good, the model. And then don't forget the total sum for all this here, we should have 105.5. So all together is 105.50. Am I right? Okay, so the calculation, I think obviously is that over here altogether we have 8x. I think that would be corresponding to 105.50 minus of 4.5 and 9 also, right? That will give us 92. This will give us 92. Now, ultimately, we need to find how much money that Peggy left behind. So in fact, we just need to find this add together. So 2x plus 9. So 2x plus 9, I think we just need to ask the a is divided by 4. Am I right? A is divided by 4. So this one divided by 4. Divided by 4. We should now have 2x. 92 divided by 4, we should have 23. Okay, final answer, we need to add the 9 also. So 2x plus 9, that will be our final answer. 23 plus 9 should be 32. Then don't forget, this one should add at the dollar side. 32, all right? Now, if you find this method is difficult to you, not suitable to you, perhaps I can offer one more approach, which is go by algebra. So let's restart everything. Here, perhaps we can draw a table for us to easy to visualize it. So we draw a quick table like this. I think downstairs we need one more row, add up one more row here. So again, Alice and Peggy. Then the spending, the amount of money that left behind, right? So remember that earlier we have P to A, the spending is 2 to 3. So temporarily we call this as 2x, this is 3x, okay? And for Peggy, the money that she left behind at the $9, 2x plus 9. And for Alice now, as compared to Peggy, is half of it. So 2x plus 9, then divided by 2. So far, okay? So this one total up 5x. This one total up should be 3 over 2 bracket 2x plus 9. And the total sum is 105.50. Am I right? So based on this, we can form the equation. Obviously, 5x plus 3 over 2 bracket 2x plus 9 equals to 105.50. Now, you can see that now we have a fraction, right? 3 over 2. So we like to avoid the fraction. So obviously, we can just multiply by 2. Am I right? 2 multiply by 2 to get rid of the denominator. Okay, so 2 divided by 2, 5x will become 10x. This one divided by 2, if we don't, not so fast, then we just say 3 bracket first. 3x plus 9. Then times 2, this one will become 211, okay? Now, in future, if you can do a bit faster, then this one at the same time, we can times in. So it becomes 6x plus 27, am I right? Okay, so therefore, 10x plus 6x, of course, is 16x. Meanwhile, we ask the 27, move over the other side, minus 27. Then this will give us 184. So bear in mind that the final answer is over here, 2x plus 9. So again, I think we just here divided by 2 will do. So divided by 8, by the way, one more time, divided by 8. So divided by 8, we should have 2x, 184 divided by 8 should end up 23. Once again, 2x plus 9, therefore final answer will be, at the dollar side, $32. Now we have a group of boys and girls. The average saving for them is $245. We have equal number of boys and girls. Average saving just for the boys is $300. Okay. Now, first of all, I think we have to have a good concept on the average first. The average, in fact, should be the sum divided by the total number, right? So to get the sum, in fact, is average times the number. Am I right? The sum is average times the number. Now, before we come to that, I think we may need to set up some unknown. For example, the number of boys and girls, each one, they're equal, right? So let's say both of them call n and n each. So therefore, this one, when they combine together, later should be 2n. Average saving for boys is $300. Then for the girls, perhaps this one, let's say for the girls, we just temporarily say that this is K dollar. Okay, K dollar. Okay. So with all this up, I think we can now set up the equation. So for the boys, the total sum will be the average $300 times the N, so 300N. We do the same thing for girls also, which is KN. These two add together should be the total sum for boys and girls together, which will be 245 times 2N. So far, so good. Now to continue, we can cancel the N now because every terms carry the N, we can cancel, like both sides divided by N. So this will end up 300 plus K equals to 490. In fact, the average for the girls will become 190. Am I right? 190. Okay, now we come down to check the statement. Each boy save more than each girl. Now, you based on the average saving seems like yes, because the boys is 300. For the girls, we have calculated is 190. But please think very carefully. Okay, for the boys, the average is higher, but this one doesn't mean that for each boy, the saving will be more than the girls. Okay, this one, make sure that you have a clear concept on this. So the answers for this one should be not possible to tell. Can be yes, can be no. Okay. Second, the average saving for the girls is more than $300. Now, obviously, the answers we have calculated is only 190, right? So therefore, $300, more than $300, this statement confirmed to be incorrect. False statement. A, B, C, D is a parallelogram whereby A, B, E, F, and DC, they're all parallel. Given that this angle is 104, this angle is 60 degrees, towards the end, try to find this angle, the reflex angle. That is the one that more than 180 degrees. All right. Okay, so before that, this angle should be DEF should be 104, right? Because of the corresponding angle with this. And this one, interior angle, am I right? 180 minus the 104, which is 76 degrees. All right. And what else? Now, there's one concept. This angle and this angle are actually the same, the opposite angle of a parallelogram. So therefore, for this angle, it should be 104 minus 60 degrees. 104 minus 60 degrees. So this one should be 44 degrees. All right. Okay. So now we should now find this angle. This angle. Okay. How to find this angle? EF CD, in fact, is a quadrilateral. So the sum of all the four interior angles should be 360 degrees, right? So if we call this as angle X, so the X should be 360 degrees minus all the rest, 104 degrees minus 76 degrees minus 44 degrees. Okay, and this should give us 136 degrees. 136 degrees. However, this is not the final answer because they asked for the reflex angle. This one asked for the reflex angle. So therefore, for the final answer, we have to do one more thing, which is 360 minus just now the angle, 136 degrees. And the final answer should be 224 degrees. Friends share some chocolate. They try to take 10 chocolate each. Then the last person can only have 2 chocolate. If each person took only 8 chocolates, then we have 20 chocolate left behind. The question is, how many friends actually sharing the chocolates? Okay, so now for the last person, right, only can have 2 chocolate. That means actually short of 8 chocolate. So for this scenario, we put -8. So if everyone just take 8 chocolates, that means now we have 2 chocolate left behind. for every person. And towards the end, we will have a total of 20 chocolate left behind. So this action, in fact, will give us extra 28 chocolate. Okay? And if everybody just took 8 chocolates instead of 10 chocolate, that means each person will keep back 2 chocolate. So this process will keep doing this until from -8 then become 20. So the difference is 28. So in this case, for the number of friends being here, it should be 28 divided by 2. That is 14. Another way of doing this, we can use algebra to solve. So let's assume that the number of friends that we have, let's say, is n. In that case, for the first n minus 1 number of friends, they all have 10 chocolate. So 10 bracket n minus 1. Then for the last person, we'll get 2 chocolate. Then should be equals to, for having 8n, then plus 20, right? 8n plus 20. If everybody just taking 8 chocolates, so 8n in total, then plus 20 chocolate left behind. So we then need to solve this equation for the n. Open up the bracket, 10n minus 10 plus 2 equals to 8n plus 20. So here, minus 8n. For this one, I think we should have -8. So we bring this over, it should become 20 plus 8. Therefore, 2n equals to 28. Therefore, n equals to 14. So having the same answers. Here, we have a car set off at 7:45, travel from A to B at the average speed of 80 km per hour, reaching B at 9:45. A truck set off from A to B also depart 2 hours earlier, reaching at the same time as the car. If the truck increase the average speed by 10 km per hour, how much time would the truck be taking to reach the time B? So this is time A, this is time B. Okay, for the car, the speed is 80 km per hour. The time is 2 hours, am I right? From 7:45 to 9:45. So the distance here should be d equals to s times t, therefore should be 160 km. Okay, so therefore for the truck in fact share the same distance. So therefore you calculate the speed of the truck. On top still 160. Then the bottom should be, because the truck departs 2 hours earlier, so therefore it should be 2 plus 2, altogether should be 4. And therefore the average speed should be 40 km per hour. Now, we are going to increase the average speed of the trucks by 10 km per hour. So therefore, the new time should be still 160 on top, the same distance. Then the bottom should be 40 plus 10. That will be 160 divided by 50. And therefore, the answer is 3.2 unit hours. In this question, we have 6 two-digit numbers and the average is 60. For the last 2 numbers, some digits are missing. The question asking the value for the last 2 numbers. First of all, the sum of all these 6 two-digit numbers, by right, it should be 60 times 6, which is 360. Compared to the first 4 numbers, the sum will be 243. Therefore, for the last 2 numbers, the sum, it should be
360 minus 243, that is 117. Now let's assume that for the last two numbers, they are in this. Make sure you put the bar on top to denote this is a two-digit number. So when we open up, it should become 60 plus x plus 10y plus 7 equals to 117. Therefore, 10y plus x, it should be 117 minus 60 minus 7. That will end up 50. Now we try to brainstorm different value between x and y. Bear in mind that x and y, they should be any integers from 0 to 9. Let's start off with y equals to 1. Then x should be 40. If 2, 30, 3, 20, 4, 10, 5, 0, come to 6, x will be negative 10. I think we can stop here. Okay, the rest we don't have to continue. And we notice that if you look at the column for the x, all these are not possible except 0. Therefore, the answer will be the last two numbers. The first one is 60. Then the next one will be 57. In this question, we have 90 adults. Half of the men and 1/4 of the women won the competition. And altogether, we have 25 winners. Question asking how many women took part in the competition. So let's try the bar model. The men won the competition. 1/4 of the women won the competition. Okay, so let's assume it's going to be something like this. And altogether, this is 90. But for this one, we should have 25. Am I right? This one we should have 25 altogether. Okay, so therefore this one should have another 25. So making this part should be 90 minus 25, 25. 90 minus 50, which is 40. Am I right? And therefore, each one expect to be 20 here. And therefore, this 20, 20 here. So therefore, for the answers, how many women took part in the competition? Obviously, will be 20 times 4, which is 80. Okay, another approach we can use algebra to solve. So the model actually similar. Let's say call them XX. And we call this as Y, 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 Y. So for the number of winners, X plus Y, I think equals to 25. Then altogether, 2X plus 4Y is 90. Now, this one we can divide 12 by 2. We could get X plus 2Y is equals to 45. Let's say this is the first equation, this is the second equation. Then if you use second equation minus the first equation, we can offset the X. Then 2Y minus 5 should be Y. 45 minus 25 is 20. Okay. Then we substitute this result. Substitute this result, let's say back into equation 1. Then we should have X plus 20 equals to 25. Then X equals to 5. Okay, anyway, finding the Y is actually good enough. And then the final answer obviously will be 4Y. 4 times 20. Therefore, answer is 80.